All right, guys, consistency in golf. Whenever somebody comes to the Sam Goulden Golf website and they join as a member or they buy something or whatever, they get an email that's from me that says, what is your greatest challenge? What's the biggest challenge you have in golf? And about 95% of golfers respond that they want to be more consistent. They need more consistency. If they could just be more consistent. Almost everyone says the same thing. We all want to be consistent in golf. And I think the biggest struggle is that when we think about being consistent, we automatically jump right to our golf swing. Now, there are some critical components about being consistent, or actually about hitting good golf shots, that you have to master. You have to be able to hit the ball consistently solid, which means being able to get into impact with the proper impact alignments. You have to have a predictable curve, so you've got to acquire this skill to hit the ball solid and know which way it's going when you hit it. Those two things are absolutes. You've got to acquire those skills. But once you acquire those skills, what actually makes or breaks your round is your mind. It's what you do leading up to those shots. So for instance, let's say you get up, you go play golf, first hole, great, second hole, great, third hole, great, fourth hole, great, fifth hole, this par 3 that you never play well on, and now you're maybe a couple over par, you're playing really well for you, and you stand there and you're like, oh man, don't screw this up. This hole always gets to me. As soon as you start thinking that way, your body chemistry changes. Your mind goes into a higher frequency state, you start getting anxious, and every cell in your body vibrates or resonates at a higher frequency, which means you're going to swing at a different frequency than you just were swinging on all those previous holes. So just that one thought is going to change your golf swing. And so when you hit this shot, automatically it doesn't go well, right? Maybe you hit it fat and it lands short of the green and you're like, oh, why do I always hit such a bad shot on this hole? You hit that poor shot and we immediately go, what did I do in my swing? What did I do in my swing to cause that fat shot? Why did I do that? And that can stay with us for a few holes. You might think, okay, I hit that shot fat. On the next hole, I'm going to do something different to not hit it fat. And now you're focusing on your swing and you're overdoing things and compensating when maybe you don't even need to, because the thought is the thing that caused that fat shot. It was not your mechanics. Your mechanics, if they're capable of producing solid contact for 4 holes, they can do it for all 18. It's your mind. It's your mind that has to be consistent. It's your mind that has to have a process it goes through on every single shot that gives you the best chance possible to hit consistent shots. So, I know it's not what everybody wants to hear. I know personally, I spent 15 years of my life working on trying to get a consistent golf swing. But then I spent the next 5 trying to play consistent golf and play the best golf I could. And it took me a lot to really realize that I could ruin a round. I could ruin an entire round with one bad thought. So it wasn't until I really developed my thought process and my pre-shot routine that I could say, okay, at least I know how to play consistent golf. Now, that being said, there's one more note here. Working on your pre-shot routine, working on your process, and working on your mind is a challenge for 2 reasons. One, it's not easy. It is very challenging to get your mind into the ideal state on every single shot when you play golf. If it were easy, then every guy on the PGA Tour would shoot 60 every round, because they're good enough to do that. The reason they don't is because little moments in the round where their mind gets a little bit sideways, or they doubt something or question something and they hit a bad shot, and now they've got to save a par instead of putting for birdie. So number one, it's not easy to practice this, and it's not easy to perform it. It takes about a month. It took me about 30 days of doing a consistent, really focused routine on every single shot, about a month to actually be able to do it consistently. Now, I will say that at that point, when I was able to do it consistently, it was a game changer. I was able to hit so many more quality shots, and I instantly knew when I hit a bad shot that it was my routine. Something got in the way, something got in my head and didn't allow me to make the swing that I intended to make. So number one, it's hard to work on the routine. It takes some time to work on it. And with that, number two, because you're not getting instant gratification from doing this routine, it's hard to continue to do it. It's hard to continue to practice it. So if it takes a long time to get good at it, it's often really hard to stick with it. But I can assure you that if you work on the proper things in your pre-shot routine and you spend, let's just say 1 month, commit 1 month out of your golfing life to improving your pre-shot routine, I guarantee you'll be a better golfer. Now, what that pre-shot routine should be, there are some criteria, there are some absolutes that you have to have if you're going to have a productive pre-shot routine, and there's some things that you absolutely need to get rid of from your pre-shot routine. It's not everybody the same, but there are some absolutes, and that's for another video. If you're a member of the Sam Goulden Clubhouse on Facebook, we can have this conversation there. If you're not a member of the Sam Goulden Clubhouse on Facebook, just send me just a request to join, and I'll send you a link to join for your first month for free. But you know, I'm really looking forward to you guys hearing your comments on this. I know it makes sense, right? I know you're listening to this going, yeah, okay, if I have a consistent routine, I've got a better chance of hitting consistent shots. Or if I have a consistent golf swing and then one bad thought creeps in, yeah, that's probably where I'm going to hit a bad shot. I know it makes sense to you. So let's take that and then let's move it over into this category of, yeah, I should work on it, to, yeah, I'm going to work on it. And let me help you with that, because I know it's going to make a massive difference in your game. So if you feel like this information was valuable and there's somebody else that you think might benefit from it, feel free to share this on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever else you want to share it. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And of course, if you like the video, just hit the like button. And yeah, that's it for now. I hope this video really was helpful for you, and I hope to see you in the clubhouse where we can really dive into some of these things that make a pre-shot routine great.